OK, let's go back now to our other top story today, the developments on the Syrian crisis. Washington has said that there is new evidence that sarin was used in the chemical attacks on Damascus suburbs on August the 21st. President Barack Obama has vowed to take punitive action, but he wants Congress to vote on it first. Meanwhile, Syria says it is ready for any act of foreign aggression. Joining me is the Middle East analyst, Barak Seener from the Royal United Services Institute, an associate fellow there. Thank you very much for coming in and speaking to us. So John Kerry on the morning shows in the US today talking about the US having evidence that sarin was used in those attacks. What difference does that make to the calculations going on?
Look, there is the need for America and the international community to uphold the Convention Against Usage of Chemical Weapons. That's always the number one issue of any national security strategy, is to counter the usage and proliferation of chemical, biological and nuclear weapons. The very fact that now the Obama administration has prevaricated over this issue, it actually has now a credibility issue in the Middle East. First of all, if I was the Assad regime, I'd be thinking, right, perhaps I would be able to continue to use this because I'm not going to experience any negative measures, I'm not going to suffer any consequences from Britain, America, the international community. Iran is looking at this and is thinking, great, we can accelerate our enrichment of uranium, perhaps even weaponize our program. The Gulf states are thinking, can we trust America to go in, to be there for us? Israel's looking at it and saying, is America really an ally that is solid? And in turn, Israel may seek to strike Iran alone.
But do you think this is the thought process in going on in those countries now that Congress is going to debate this, or that's what would happen if Congress voted no?
I think that's the thought process already going on now, because they have to wait till September the 9th. The fact that a reaction was not swift and immediate to what was considered a red line or quote-unquote unacceptable, that causes America to have a credibility problem within the Middle East.
It's interesting because President Obama and Secretary of State John Kerry have been talking about the need to build credibility and to maintain their credibility in terms of the international community and taking a tough stance on chemical weapons. And Obama wants to be legitimate by going to Congress. But you're saying it's working in the opposite direction?
There's a trade-off. If you want multilateralism and you want to lead from behind, then any response is not going to be swift and imminent. It gives the ability for the Assad regime to perhaps move its resources around, because the leaks that have come out from the Obama White House is quite astonishing, basically saying when they want to attack and what facilities they want to be striking. So the credibility issue really remains.
And in terms of moving on from that credibility for the US, what about the credibility of the UK, having taken that decision in Parliament? Where does this leave Britain?
I think that Britain has as well a credibility issue now. The whole concept of isolationism, we're not living 100 years ago, we're living in 2013 in a globalized world. There is no sense anymore of us and them. If I would have said to you on September the 10th, 2001, that people, Islamists inspired by a radical living in a cave in Afghanistan, is going to be flying plane into the World Trade Center in downtown Manhattan, you would look at me and think that I'm crazy. But that's indeed what happened. All global politics becomes local. Now there's also an issue of the Assad regime now potentially testing the international community's resolve again and using chemical biological weapons once again. There's also the possibility that he may outsource his chemical weapons program to Hezbollah. We know that Hezbollah conducted a terrorist attack in Bulgaria early this year. Who's to say that they won't carry out a dirty bomb attack in downtown London or downtown New York? That's very, very possible. And if we don't have a swift, immediate response to the fact that, hey, in the 21st century, it's unacceptable to use certain types of warfare, then we are undermining our not only credibility, we're deeply undermining our national security.
OK, we're going to have to leave it there. Barak Seener from the Royal United Service Institute, thank you very much for that chilling analysis. Thank you.
Thank you.